is 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a reason she's crying?
She's just upset.
All right, what are you upset about?
Just situation. I didn't expect this.
What's upsetting you about the situation?
There's a lot of things that I should have done and I didn't do when she first arrived at our home.
All right, folks, today we're diving into a courtroom drama that's as disturbing as it gets. The defendant, who's been sobbing nonstop, is on trial for the abuse and tragic death of her own child. It's a gut-wrenching case, one that's difficult to even wrap your head around. The details are beyond horrific, and honestly, it's hard to understand how she can sit there in tears after what happened. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Does her reaction seem genuine, or is it just a show? Let's break it all down and see how this case unfolds.
They are allegations, but due to the serious nature, we feel that $200,000 is appropriate. But that if the court is willing to lower them, then obviously full conditions. But for something involving something like this, I feel like anything lower than 150 even would be just way too low. It also is a little concerning that no one's willing to help her, because then how is she going to be supported in the community? That's just concerning to the state, Your Honor.
Well, just to clear it up, it's not no one. It's just people that, unfortunately, the people that are willing to help are just unable to do so financially. Sorry.
All right, the court is going to deny the motion, and the court has had no evidence on what amount of bond that she is able to make. So at this time, the court will deny the motion. And counsel, if there's an issue, is your client in protective custody?
Yes, Your Honor, now.
All right. If there's an issue at the jail with her safety, just let the court know. But my understanding, she is in protective custody. Beyond that, that's all I can do. And counsel, I've always found them to be receptive if there's an issue with danger.
All right, so that's the last time we see her in court for now. But don't go anywhere, because I'm about to show you what went down 5 months later when she finally faced sentencing for the brutal assault and killing of her own child. This is the kind of crime that makes my blood boil. There's no excuse, no justification, just pure, unthinkable evil. And if the judge doesn't hand down the harshest possible sentence, I might actually lose it. You don't get to take an innocent life and walk away with just a slap on the wrist. This is the kind of case where prison should be the only future. Let's see how it all played out.
873, State of Texas versus Yvonne Monica Perez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Allie Jackson.
Defense?
Matthew Allen.
Are you Miss Perez?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you understand you're charged with assault, intentionally, knowingly, of serious bodily injury by omission with the child? Did you understand that's the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Range of punishment is 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Perez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her rights to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 18 years in the prison and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the...
I hate to interrupt, but I have to say, this woman's crying is absolutely infuriating. She's not shedding tears out of guilt or remorse. No, it's like clockwork. Every time the judge utters the word prison, another tear conveniently rolls down her face. Funny how there was no sobbing when she was out committing these horrific crimes, but now that she's facing the consequences, suddenly she's the victim. What really gets me is that she's been staring at this 18-year-old police officer like he holds the key to her freedom. But let's be real, men is 18 years behind bars for taking an innocent child's life. That doesn't sit right with me. What do you guys think? Should the judge stick with that sentence, or does she deserve even more time? Let's dive in and break it all down.
State any evidence?
State Office States Exhibit 1.
No objections.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Is there a reason she's crying?
She's just upset.
All right, what are you upset about?
Situation. I didn't expect this.
What's upsetting you about the situation?
Try to do something kind and just,
It's just I don't know if the court has noticed, every time she's come in, she's been very,
Crying.
very emotional, Your Honor.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No? All right, I'm just asking questions. All right, if we can go off the record. All right, State, are you asking to amend the stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections.
All right, and then the court will review State's exhibits 1 and attachments with the amended stipulations. All right, after reviewing State's exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone want to say why should follow this plea bargain agreement?
I can speak briefly on that, Your Honor. I think the stipulations, so the way that she came about, Ms. Pettis came about to have the child was kind of strange to begin with. She, in my opinion, I think, saw these two children that were on the streets. Her and her partner tried to help take them in. And then obviously there was an incident that Ms. Pettis describes a week prior to this where, again, she should have taken the girl in for medical treatment immediately. And then obviously she fell from the stairs.
Let's backtrack a little bit, because it says in the stipulations that there were two people outside of the store. She says she's being a good Samaritan. So she takes them both back to her apartment. And then she tells one of them, I can no longer keep you here. You need to leave. But I'll keep the complainant.
Yes, her and her partner. So her partner ended up, I believe, keeping the younger boy, and she kept the younger girl at the apartment. And then,
And is this younger boy currently alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
yes,
And where is he?
As CPS has removed him, he leaves with other family.
Okay.
the incident described that is the leads to this tragedy. Obviously, Yvonne describes it as she's playing. Obviously, the kid shouldn't be playing on the stairs. We know that. She hits her head and the back. She seems like she's okay as far as checking on her. She's eating, watching
So why
TV.
would she pinching her as a sign of as punishment? Because that's what it says in the steps, that she would pinch her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
It wasn't like I'm pitching her, just kind of like a grab, like just
It says it
to
left
prompt her.
bruises.
I'm sorry.
I don't get this at all. How do you take two children from the public, then act shocked when one of them doesn't make it under your so-called care? That's not some tragic accident. That's the horrifying reality she created. And now, here she is, sitting in court with that pitiful, fake sad expression, hoping people forget that she is the reason this happened in the first place. She's not fooling anyone with those crocodile tears. This has always been about her, not the innocent life she stole. I just hope Judge Boyd sees right through this act and delivers the kind of justice this case truly deserves. Honestly, I can't stand seeing her face on my screen anymore. It's a painful reminder of the child who should still be here. In my opinion, she deserves life in prison, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think?
Leave that bruise. The little girl, when my daughter was,
And so I think she's describing as, yes, she, again, is admitting to that. It doesn't matter whether you think it's going to leave a bruise or not leave a bruise. I think we would agree. And then as far as her actions, she seemed like she was okay. And then the next morning, obviously she's not. and then drops her off at the hospital, and then obviously does another bad thing, leaves her and then leaves. She does come back. She does sit down with the police. She does talk to them, tell them everything that's going on and what happened. Obviously, at that point, it's too late. But I can speak to Ms. Perez from the day I've been with her for 20 months or so, from the day I've met her until today. Every time I talk to her, she's upset, and it's not because of so much of her situation, it's because of what happened. And she knows that she did wrong. She knows, she wishes she could go back in time and change all of that. And she says that every time I talk to her. And so,
Like maybe if somebody is offering you a child, maybe calling the police?
yes, going that far back. It's not one mistake. It's things that happen over and over. And again,
So was the child healthy when she received the child?
I
Was the child healthy when you received the child?
The first one is Joel.
No, I'm talking about the child that is deceased.
I don't
Was that child healthy when you received the child?
healthy in a sense. I mean, she was
Healthy in the
skinny.
sense that
She
she
was
had-
skinny.
Did
We
she have
fed
all her
her.
hair?
Did she have all her what? Her hair?
On her head?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, only like patches, like not patches, but like her hair was thin. Her hair wasn't thick. It was thin. Her hair was thin. And she came when I picked her up when Cassandra told me to go, and when we went to go pick her up, she had like a dirty little outfit. I bought her clothes. I mean, there's a lot of things that I should have done and I didn't do when she first arrived at our home. I should have taken her to get a welfare check. I should have done, and I didn't. I just
Well, and like Your Honor said, I mean, the initial thing would be to contact authorities to go through the proper channels. I think CPS was contacted prior to this and made contact with Ms. Pettis, so they were aware of the situation. But again,
Aware of what situation?
that the girl was staying with Ms. Pettis. But
Was
again,
that before or after the child
before,
was taken to the hospital?
before,
So Child Protective Services was aware that somebody off the street gave her a child, and she picked up the phone and called Child Protective Services and said,
No,
"I have this child."
no, Ms. Pettis didn't. They contacted her. So again, I agree with the court. She should have done a lot of different things.
Well, I mean, I'm just unpacking things a little bit.
Yes.
So
The mother has extensive history with CPS and had different children taken away. So I think CPS was checking into the whereabouts of Ronnie and Hillel.
All right.
It was that.
So that's how CPS found out